Airports are supposed to be the gateway to adventure, business, or family reunions. But for airport security, every day is a guessing game of what strange thing might show up on that conveyor belt. From snakes tucked inside pants to guns disguised inside children's toys, the things travelers try to sneak through are beyond imagination. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 of the craziest items ever caught by airport security. Each one is more shocking than the last, and some will leave you wondering, what could possibly make someone think this was a good idea? So stick around until the end, because the last one on this list might just be the wildest of them all. Join me for another strange, odd, and mysterious story here at Odd Mystery Stories. At Newark Airport in 2024, security agents spotted something that looked odd in a carry-on bag. Inside what appeared to be a harmless Black Panther Lego box, they found the disassembled parts of a 9mm handgun. The frame, slide, spring, and even fully loaded magazine had been hidden amongst the toy pieces. To make matters worse, the gun frame itself was wedged inside a boot stuffed with socks, as if the traveler believed layering one disguise over another would make it invisible. The discovery shocked TSA officers because it showed how far someone was willing to go to try and sneak a weapon past security. By hiding it in a child's toy set, it wasn't just dangerous, it also raised disturbing questions about intent. Was this an attempt to smuggle the weapon unnoticed, or was it a test to see if such tactics could work in the future? For travelers watching this, it makes you wonder, what's going through someone's mind when they try to dismantle a gun, bury it in Lego bricks, and risk federal charges just to get it past airport security? In 2024, TSA officers at William P. Hobey Airport in Houston came across something that seemed almost unthinkable. During a routine checkpoint, they discovered a loaded firearm hidden on the side pocket of a baby stroller. The stroller itself looked ordinary, the kind you'd see any parent pushing through the airport, but tucked away inside was a weapon, fully capable of being fired. The find immediately raised alarm. But was this an intentional act of concealment, or could it have been negligence? Either way, the risks were staggering. The thought of a gun hidden in a stroller is unsettling for obvious reasons. Airport officials stress how dangerous this could have been, not just for the passengers, but for also the children around the area if the weapon had discharged accidentally. It makes me wonder, when someone chooses to hide a loaded firearm in a place associated with children, do they truly believe security won't find it, or do they simply not care about the consequences? At Miami International Airport, security agents were met with a discovery that looked more like something from a marine research lab than a traveler's luggage. Inside a checked suitcase, they found an astonishing collection: 163 tropical fish, 12 seahorses, 22 invertebrates, and even a bag filled with live eels. The animals were packed in plastic bags filled with water, all stuffed into the suitcase as if no one would notice. This was far more than a quirky mistake. It was a clear attempt at wildlife smuggling. Many of the creatures were endangered, and moving them in this way posed serious risks not only to the animals, but to the ecosystems if they were released illegally. Airport officials quickly turned the case over to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, who were left with the task of saving as many of the creatures as possible. Some survived, but many did not. It raises troubling questions. What drives someone to smuggle hundreds of sea animals through an airport? Was it profit, ignorance, or just sheer audacity? At Tampa International Airport, TSA officers unzipped a carry-on bag expecting the usual clothes and toiletries. Instead, they found a 4-foot boa constrictor coiled up inside. The snake had been tucked neatly amongst the shoes and personal items as though it was nothing more than an extra sweater or a pair of socks. This wasn't just a curiosity, it was a potential danger. A boa constrictor of that size can be unpredictable, especially in the confined and stressful environment of an airplane cabin. Passengers could have been put at risk, not only to mention the animal itself suffering in the cramped and unfit conditions of the bag. The incident left agents shaking their heads. It's one thing to forget a water bottle in your carry-on, but quite another to knowingly pack a live snake and try to roll it through security. The big question here is, did the traveler truly think that a snake would go unnoticed on an X-ray screen, or did they just assume that they could talk their way out of it if caught? At Honolulu International Airport, TSA officers noticed something odd about a traveler's carry-on bag. Inside, they found what looked like several breadfruits, a staple fruit in many tropical regions. But when the agents inspected more closely, they realized these weren't just ordinary fruits. Each breadfruit had been hollowed out and stuffed with plastic bottles filled with baby oil. Not only were the bottles oversized for carry-on liquid limits, but the entire setup raised suspicion about why someone would go to such lengths to disguise them. The official limit for liquids in carry-on bags is 3.4 ounces, and these bottles were well beyond that. Whether the baby oil was innocent or meant to conceal something else, the method of hiding it in fruit made it one of the strangest finds of that year. This incident makes me wonder, was this simply an elaborate way to sneak through too much liquid, or could there have been a larger plan behind it? And more importantly, did the person really believe security wouldn't notice fruit with bottles rattling inside? At Spokane International Airport, security officers were stunned when a routine screening revealed a live turtle hidden inside a passenger's pants. The traveler had apparently thought slipping the reptile into clothing would be less noticeable than packing it in a bag. The turtle was discovered during the security process when the individual set off alarms and was pulled aside for further inspection. It didn't take long before officers uncovered the unusual stowaway. Needless to say, it wasn't going anywhere past the checkpoint. Beyond the absurdity of the situation, this case highlighted a real issue: the welfare of the animal. The turtle had been subjected to a stressful and unsafe environment, squeezing it into a place it clearly didn't belong. Authorities quickly intervened, ensuring the animal's safety. But it leaves a lingering question. What makes someone so determined to smuggle a turtle that they'd actually hide it in their pants? Was it desperation, ignorance, or just a hope that nobody would notice? At Miami International Airport, TSA agents encountered a case that left them both baffled and concerned. A woman attempting to board her flight had concealed two live musk turtles inside her bra. The discovery came after security screening raised alarms, prompting a closer inspection. When agents uncovered the turtles, it was clear that they had been crammed into a space not only unsuitable but also extremely harmful for the animals. Tragically, one of the turtles did not survive the ordeal, though the other was turned over to wildlife authorities. This case wasn't just about a bizarre smuggling attempt, it was about cruelty. The woman's method showed a complete disregard for the welfare of the animals. Authorities immediately took action, but the image of the turtles hidden in such a way struck with many who had heard about it. And it raises obvious questions. What could possibly drive someone to think that this was a reasonable plan? Smuggling pets? Selling them? Or was it something else entirely? At Mumbai International Airport, customs officers intercepted a passenger whose checked luggage turned out to be moving. Literally. Inside, they found 16 live snakes packed into the suitcase. The collection included garter snakes, king snakes, and even sand boas, each stuffed into small containers. The passenger had apparently hoped to smuggle the reptiles into the country, most likely for exotic pet trade or black market sales. Authorities described it as one of the largest snake smuggling attempts they had ever seen. Thankfully, the animals were seized before they could be transported further. The risks in this case went far beyond animal welfare. Snakes in cramped, poorly ventilated conditions can become aggressive or die in transit. Worse, if one had escaped inside the airport or mid-flight, the panic among passengers would have been overwhelming. It leaves me asking, did the smuggler really believe no one would notice a suitcase packed with live snakes? Or was this simply a gamble on desperation, hoping to make it through unnoticed? At Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport, TSA officers stopped in their tracks when they spotted something highly unusual on the X-ray screen: a full-sized chainsaw packed inside a traveler's luggage. While the chainsaw wasn't hidden, it was right there among the other items. The fact that someone thought they could carry it into a plane left agents stunned. TSA rules strictly prohibit items that could be used as weapons, and the chainsaw certainly qualifies. Even if the blade had been removed or the fuel tank emptied, the sheer intimidation factor made it a non-starter for air travel. The traveler was quickly stopped, and the chainsaw was confiscated before it could get anywhere near the boarding gate. Security officers said it was one of the most outlandish tools they'd ever seen attempted at a checkpoint. But it makes me wonder, what was the plan here? Was the traveler hoping it would be treated like a regular piece of equipment? Or were they genuinely unaware of just how dangerous it looked at an airport setting? Some of the strangest finds aren't just one bizarre item, they're a mix of them. In recent years, TSA agents across different airports have intercepted everything from fireworks hidden in a luggage at Syracuse Airport to a machete tucked away at Reagan National, and even bear spray canisters at a Florida checkpoint. But the oddest case may be what agents in Houston called the Meth Burrito. Security officers stopped a passenger whose seemingly ordinary burrito turned out to be stuffed with crystal meth. Wrapped up tightly in foil, it looked like nothing more than a late-night snack until closer inspection revealed the drugs inside. In another unusual catch, bullets were found inside a deodorant stick at an Atlantic City airport, and at Sacramento, officers confiscated a wine holder shaped like a firearm. Each of these discoveries highlighted not only how creative some smugglers can be, but also how determined TSA has to remain in spotting the unexpected. The meth burrito in particular left many wondering. Did the traveler actually believe airport security wouldn't notice something so suspicious on an X-ray screen? Or was this a desperate attempt that was doomed from the start? From guns disguised in Lego boxes to turtles hidden inside clothing, and even a burrito stuffed with meth, these bizarre discoveries prove one thing: airport security really has seen it all. Each case is a reminder that no matter how creative or outrageous someone's plan may be, it's unlikely to outsmart the scanners, officers, and procedures in place. What's striking is not just the variety of items, but the mindset behind them. Why would anyone think smuggling snakes, weapons, or fireworks through a checkpoint was a risk worth taking? Were these acts born out of desperation, ignorance, or sheer audacity? For most travelers, airport security is just a minor inconvenience on the way to a flight. But for TSA agents, every bag is a mystery waiting to be solved. And as we've seen, some of those mysteries are stranger than fiction. So next time you're in line at a checkpoint, take a moment to wonder, what odd story may be unfolding just a few bags ahead of you? Hey, thanks for watching my video. My name is Vince. If you enjoyed this story, it would really help me out if you hit the like button. It lets me know that you want more stories like this one. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. I've got plenty of other strange and unsolved cases waiting for you. So stick around and check out another video on my channel. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next mystery.